Sam Badgett, and I'm a grandpa, and I live in Canton, Georgia, north of Atlanta, in the foothills to the Appalachians, and there's lots of woods there, and it's a beautiful place. We have a property that has about 3 acres, and a lot of that is forest on a hillside and down to a creek, and it's just really peaceful and lovely. I'm reminded, if you're familiar with the patriotic song, My Country 'Tis of Thee, and there's words in that song that says, I love the rocks and rills, I love the wooded hills. My heart is filled with all of these, and that's kind of the way I feel about where I live and Mother Nature. So I thought, how can I make this something that would be enjoyable for my 5 grandchildren? And the thought was to build a nature trail down the hill to the creek and up the other side on the hill, and then enhance it. Kids, seems like today, they spend too much time inside and at the television, and so what could entice them to get outside and enjoy the beauty of Mother Nature? And so I thought of things to build that might attract them. One was a zip line that goes from one hillside across a little valley to another. Second thought was to build a tree swing with about a 20-foot reach up into the trees. Another was, how about a tree house? And I then put that all together, and then finally built the tree house. The first level is about 12 feet high, and after that I thought, well, how about a 2-story tree house? So I built a second story, which is about even 8 feet above that. And then the thought was, well, what would make that even more exciting? And my wife thought, well, why don't you build a swinging bridge? And so sure enough, I researched that and figured out what to do, and gathered the materials together, and built a swinging bridge that goes from the second level of the tree house all the way across the creek, which is about 20 to 30 feet above the creek, over to the far hillside, and then down a little ladder to ground level. And so there are challenges to building a swinging bridge, and some of them are, is it strong enough? Is it long enough? Is it safe enough? And so I gathered the materials. I gathered 2 strong cables from the hardware store, and then I bought the boards and had to cut them into the proper length, and then I got PVC pipe to sheath the cables with so I could clamp the boards onto it, and then I had to get netting so people would not fall off of the side of the swinging bridge. And having done all that, then I started in, I strung the cables, I then used turnbuckles as well as a come-along to get the cables at the right length and the bridge sagging the right amount. And then from that, I started putting on the boards one at a time, using an extension ladder from about 30 feet below down to the creek, up to the boards, and started putting them on, and all the way across 60 feet. And then the last board was on. I put up the net that I got from a sports dealer, and sure enough, it was time for me to test the board. And so I walked across the swinging bridge, and lo and behold, I was safe, and then I bounced up and down, and yay, I was safe bouncing up and down, and I made it all the way across. Then I had my son, who weighs 250 pounds, bounce up and down on it, and it was safe. And so then I knew my grandchildren were going to be safe on the bridge. And so the grandchildren seem to have all enjoyed that, and it does in fact get them out, and I love to hear the squeals of joy as they ride the zip line or get into the tree house and go across the swinging bridge. And so I think I've succeeded in that regard, where they can enjoy outside as well as watching TV inside.
Other arms